Wanted to show you guys my camp. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I wanted to wait until we had that player vending. Either way, I think it was time to show you guys a tour of my camp. I am located right here on the corner between the Miners Monument and White Springs, which is right up here to the north. I got a couple neighbors over here, it looks like. So with further ado, I guess I'll explain to you why I love this location so much. I've got a silo right here. It's really cheap for fast travel. Love hitting up the ash heap, and I love going over to Watoga, along with the Fort Defiance for my ballistic fiber, and of course West Tech and Robco. But this is just a great location in general. Getting up north costs a little bit of money, but I normally will fast travel up to Vault 76 to get up there. Looks like we have Project Paradise going on right now, but we'll do that another time. Anyway, let's get right to it and show you guys this camp. So this is the fourth version of the camp that in this particular location. I've decided that this is my permanent home at this point until I've decided to find another location. This is the third location that I've actually built at, but I love this location. It's just perfect. So at this point, it's my permanent home, and it's a great spot. Now, as you can see from this view back here, I am on the road, and it pretty much fills my screen up looking at it from this view. This place is huge. Now, the reason I call this a mega camp is because everything is located under one roof. So that includes extractors, water, the whole works. Oh, we got somebody coming at me here. And this location's not too bad for enemies as well. I get, as you can see here, level 10s all the way up to level 68. Technically, we are in the Savage Divide in this location. Anyway, let's go ahead and just do a quick outside look. Got my welcome home up there. I did want to have a little decor out here out front. Of course, the topiaries. Wish they still had those, so I probably won't be getting rid of that Deathclaw anytime soon. But anyway, we'll do a quick walkthrough out here on the outside. Would love to have a little bit more budget here, as a little over half of my budget was used in the structure itself. So only a little bit of it actually is the decorations and whatnot. What I like about this location too is these cars out front. They add a little nice touch there, the Jeep. Now if you walk down here a little bit, there is a sleeping bag along with ammo. Duffel bag, nice little stealth boy there. We have a couple firecracker berries located over here, so when I wanted to create a disease cure or anything of that nature. So at one point I did actually have this set up for other players. I had a little bench right here along with a little fire pit, and it lit up, and it was really nice. Looking back from this view, you can tell it's a pretty big structure. It's not small at all. So we'll come back around here and do a little walkthrough. So the structure, like I said, it took over half of the budget here. I managed to get these walls, actually the structure itself started with these two foundations, and I essentially built off of that. So it took me about I'd say about four tries to figure this one out, but I love it. Either way, I normally spawn right about here. Anytime I'm spawning in, I usually spawn right about here. So you have the golf course, and of course I've got a Uruguay down there. Yeah, he's sleeping. Got some robots down here, which is really nice, just in case. Scorch Beast will usually spawn over at the Fisher site, which is located kind of back behind these trees here. Every once in a while I'll get a Scorch Beast coming over here, but he'll get distracted with those guys. And of course, coming up here, I'll usually get some neighbors. As you could tell on the map, I have a couple neighbors located in this little location. Again, love this location as we can get right up to White Springs. So looking at it from this view, we'll go ahead and take that off there. Not a bad little build here. The reason why this looks so big is the staggering, making it bigger at the bottom and kind of staggering it up to the top. Got my name here so people know whose house they're coming in. I recommend you do this if you have this lighting set so that way people know whose camp they're at. I know you can see it on the map, but it does add a little flair. And before player vending, a lot of people were doing this, so I've just decided to go ahead and keep that. Love that little statue at the top. It's a nice little feature there. Now this is the entrance. Nothing special. I used to have a couple chairs out here and a barbecue pit, but again, with the budget, I've had to make a few sacrifices. So let's head on in here. As you walk in, it's a very nice open floor layout plan. We have our shop located here to the right. Of course, our bath, or shower I should say, and the bar. Now we'll go ahead and start over here at the bar, our little Nuka-Cola machine. I did get the bar set because it hands down was one of the best deals they've had in the Adams shop in a long time. I also held on the Pickaxe Pilsner beer sign, well, because it was overpriced. So I waited till that came down in price and finally picked that up. Of course, the Friends Welcome sign, had to have that. Honestly, it's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it really does add a nice little touch. As you can see, I'm still working on my mounted head collection, and eventually hopefully we can fit a few more in here with the budget. Back here is, of course, our brewing station, which, where else were you going to have that? At a bar. Over here in the corner here, we have our little acoustic guitars set up. Now, I did get all the Easter eggs except for the black one. I happened to not be out of town, so I wasn't able to get that last one, but throughout my camp, I decided it'd be fun to just go ahead and put Easter eggs throughout the camp. So as you were exploring it, you'd be able to find some of the Easter eggs. Just a fun little thing there. Old Possum Malt Liquor, one of my favorite signs in the game. Any sign that lights up, I am probably going to go ahead and purchase that as well. So there's the little bar area. It'd be great to fit a pool table, and I did at one point on one of the previous versions have a pool table, but again, budget and sacrificing some of the things I had to do in order to make this work. As you come over here, here's our little shop area. Just 3 is perfect. I will give you guys a quick tip on the whole shopping. Sell the most random things, as in sell things that are fun and things that are kind of hard to find. I've noticed I get better sales on that. Of course, be reasonable with your prices. So nice little shopping area over here. And when I built this structure, I knew vending was coming out, and so I actually built this area specifically just for that. So this was months ago before I had came out. And again, here's another little Easter egg down here in the corner. Now as we make our way through here, we come back down here. This is all my water purifiers right here. Nice and conveniently located. I used to have 6, I'm down to 5. Again, budget restraints. I did have a little bit of some plants in this area, but again, I had to cut back on the budget. Now if you look over here, we've got our junk extractor, which I personally believe is one of the best extractors in the game, as you get a nice variety of different items. Back here is the power generator. Usually when I'm under attack in the base, this is the first thing they end up attacking, but for the most part, it's usually just whatever's in here. Every once in a while, I'll go ahead and get some mole rats that come up through the floor. Kind of sucks, but it works. I've also noticed a lot of players say that they normally spawn right here in this location inside. I used to have a door located here with a lock on it so people weren't coming in here. Eventually I just decided to go ahead and put locks on the purifier and that so people could get, move freely in and out. And that's been kind of an issue, I think, with people spawning and going to other people's camps, is that we don't normally spawn in the area that we should be spawning. We're usually spawning underneath foundations and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure Bethesda is working on that. What I can say is when I placed my camp down, the machine, I actually placed it around this area. So I'm assuming that is where you as a player spawn, is where the camp was spawned. As you can see here, I've got my Pioneer Scouts of America banner. I do have my backpack. It took a little while. Hey guys, there you go. Love my Sheep Squatch mascot outfit. One of my favorite outfits in the game so far. So as we come back around here, we've got a nice little classical column with our model up on the top. I did put a stash box down here, even though there's a stash box on each floor. And again, as you walk in, it's a very nice open area. I really feel there's some good feng shui going on here as far as flow. You can get quite a few people in here that I've had before running around and stuff like that. It would be fun to put a table here where people can sit down and hang out while other people are shopping, but again, I tried that, took some budget, and just really didn't feel like there was enough space here for people to move around. Eventually, when we get some better floors, I'll probably put in some different floor here, but for now the concrete works just fine. As we come around here, you can see I went ahead and placed my camp in the corner. Gives a little bit of light in that corner as well. And of course, this nice little Vault-Tec University statue I felt worked just perfect there. Eventually we may move that and put something else there, but at this point it all ties in really nicely. As you can see, we've got our pit guy, pit boy, having us come up the stairs. So when I designed this place, I didn't want to have too many stairs, because again, it's another budget constraint. So we have this set of stairs that kind of comes up right on the end. So as we come up, again, nice little open area here for people to decide whether or not they want to go upstairs or over here. We'll go ahead and start on this floor, which technically you could say we're on the second floor. I love this little Deathclaw statue here. I thought it was a nice little feature. And again, once we get our display cases and we're able to display those other items, I may go ahead and move some stuff around. But in the meantime, we do have some nice little room here. Oh, there it is, another Easter egg we went ahead and put in this corner. So that's 3 Easter eggs. Again, just a nice little fun thing to do for players as they're walking around. We'll go ahead and head on down here through this hallway. As you can see, I've got all of the posters so far. Can't wait till they release more of those, and those are for the missions. This was actually one of my first purchases in the game. Love it. Great little map. It was actually relatively cheap. As we walk in here, we have to our right the power armor station and our computer that we just recently got, which shows all missions. Honestly, I feel it's useless unless people can sign in, and maybe what Bethesda could do is have people come over here and be able to leave a little letter or a note or something like that. It would be a lot of fun. Love the traffic light, works really, really nice. So as you can see, this is just specifically for the power armor. Eventually would love to hang something over here, and at one point we did, but again, budget constraints. I will go ahead and show you guys the budget at this point. And as you can see in the corner there, we have a sliver, literally a sliver of budget. It doesn't take very much to fill that up. So I am holding on to that little bit of sliver there for display cases and whatnot. And again, I've had to sacrifice a lot of other stuff. But we do have a little bit of budget left in there. So there's just a little sliver. Again, we have our table up here in our living room. I'm not a really big fan of this clipping through the walls, but I did utilize it in a way to where this kind of cuts the area, your living area, off to that. So nice bar table set, love it. Wish they would let us put alcohol in the punch bowl again, but I understand that they need to do a fix with that. Over here to our left, we have all of our crafting benches. I'll usually start here at the weapons workbench, and then I'll just kind of move my way in different directions here all the way to the armor. So there's a nice little flow. Love this poster. Figured this was the perfect spot for it above the chemist's bench. As you walk in here, this is the nice little living room. I had 2 couches and a couple chairs up here. It was a little bit more cozy, but again, with budget restraints, I had to take out quite a bit. It'd be nice to have maybe some display cases over here, or even better, just another couch would be great, just so people can come up here and hang out, chill by the fire, put some music on, or watch some TV. Love my Quantum Nuka-Cola sign. It's one of my more favorite purchases, and such a great sign. Really, really ties the room in together. Over here, we went ahead and just went with the same thing with the Nuka-Cola poster. We'll go ahead and give you one more quick look here. And again, I really, really wanted to create some nice flow. Everything's open. You can walk in between things fairly easy. Again, just that feng shui was very, very important to me. I did have some plants up here at one point, but again, the budget issue. Would love to bring those back eventually, just kind of ties the room in together. Let's go ahead and head up to the last floor here, and we'll come up here. As we walk up, we've got our frog jar, which absolutely feel bad for this little guy. I think I named him Hank the other day, but it's Hank or Randy. And again, just a nice little display as you're coming up, give you something to look at. Another stash box here. Eventually this will probably go, and this whole little wall section here will probably be mostly for my display cases. I'm really hoping I'm able to display the comic books, or I should say the books would be really awesome. And of course my Pip-Boy, the Pip-Boy statues would be awesome too to display up here. Over here we've got our nice little couch sitting area, just a nice little area here. I did vault the ceilings up because I wanted just an extra little boost for really just for aesthetic looks. It did add a little bit more onto the budget, but it aesthetically looks great. It really peeks out over the trees as you're walking up. Can't wait to get that clean flag. I got to do a couple more possum missions or campfire tail missions to get that, but for the most part, hopefully we can get that. And over here, as you can see, we have another little Easter egg here in the corner. Again, just a really fun little thing for the player to just kind of find those Easter eggs. I do see people displaying them all at once, but again, it makes it an Easter egg. I've got our little desk over here. I did have a filing cabinet and some other stuff at one point, but unfortunately, again, with the budget, it sucks. Can't get very much more. Have some chandeliers here for a light. Now let's go ahead and head back here. Now I wanted to be able to cater to more than one person, so I went ahead and created these little stalls here so people could, you know, come up in here and get a nice little nap before they head out back to the wasteland. And of course, here we go, here's the other egg. Again, didn't get that last black egg. I'm really bummed about that, but either way, over here, just a couple stash boxes here. And honestly, now that I'm seeing that, let's just go ahead and remove this stash box right here. We don't need it anymore. So we have two stash boxes up here, you know, just for your clothing, whoever's staying over for the night. Kind of ties in the whole thing and gives it more of a homey kind of look, in my opinion. But either way, really nice little setup up here. It's cozy, it's clean. Again, can't wait to get displays and all of that stuff up here. It's just going to be really cool to have all that. And again, with our budget, and I'll go ahead and show you guys one more time. As you can tell, I only have a little fucking sliver here. And again, I've had to sacrifice quite a bit. So it would be great if Bethesda gave us just a little bit more budget. And of course, I have no turrets in this camp because that's kind of pointless. Turrets take a lot of resources and they don't really work that well. So, and along with the budget cost, yeah, just really worthless. I would love to have a little kind of decoration here. Would be really sweet to have up here as you're coming down. I do have the arrow light set, and I did at one point have that kind of pointing down, and you know, it worked really nice. And again, we're just kind of at that budget limit, and we have to kind of make those sacrifices, unfortunately. And again, this is a huge camp. Most of the budget was used for the actual structure itself. So when you're building big, such as this, then you are, you know, going to pretty much max out your budget extremely quick. So we'll go ahead and give you guys one more quick little look up here in the living room. Love this. It's really nice and cozy. Got the free carpet. If you haven't, I think it's still free at this point from the time of the recording, so I would highly recommend that you get on that. I didn't like the white shag carpet. I actually like this a lot better. It really matches the couch and again the fireplace and everything that we have up here, and it just ties in the room real nice. And of course, with the clipping in here, I kind of use that to my advantage to create this nice little living room area. Power station area again, and of course our crafting. I would love to get more posters up. I would love to get something on this wall, and of course over here by the power station wall or power armor wall. Just be nice to have all the walls decked out, but again, we're on budget constraints. I really did want to put an arrow here just for some more light, because it does actually get pretty dark in this corner, and that's why I put my camp machine there in the corner, along with you know, the light right here. The lights really did take a good chunk of the budget, but honestly really needed to have that in the budget. I'll go ahead and give you guys one more quick look here at the bottom half of the house as you walk in. Now, I will tell you guys, with the adventure mode changes that they made to camps, there is really, in my opinion, no purpose to have any kind of doors. You know, in all honesty, doors are kind of unwelcoming in a way, and I wanted my camp to be welcoming to anybody that stopped by, take a nap, go take a stash, go up to crafting. And I've noticed a lot of people kind of have areas closed off in their camp. This being a mega camp, and you know, again, I'll go ahead and pull out here and show you how big this structure is. Again, extremely large structure, and everything is located inside of the structure. So definitely a just huge fucking structure at this point. Love the welcome home signs. Again, this little extra feature at the top, at first I wasn't planning on doing it, but to be brutally honest, it really just gives it a nice little extra boost. You can see it from the distance there, and we are approximately 1, 2, and 3 floors. At one point, believe it or not, on my, I think it was my second to third build, actually had another floor. We were up to 4 stories at one point, but again, I had to make some sacrifices with the vending and all the other nice little goodies that we've got within the last couple months. So it was really important to take that floor out. And again, if they do give us some more budget, more than likely I'm going to add in that extra floor and just give us a little bit more room. If I could get an extra floor, I would probably put all my display stuff up there. It would just be specifically for that. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys as you walk in here again one more time. Walk in, nice open layout, got our shower over here, our shop, little Easter eggs throughout the entire camp. And if you do build something like this, you should make it fun for people to walk around. And again, our little bar. The only thing I did not like about the bar set, and I think the consensus agrees, that that Pickaxe Pilsner sign that they had, the mirror sign, just absolutely sucked. I really would have loved to have seen a Nuka Shine sign. Really would have loved that. So Bethesda, if you're hearing this, would love to have that Nuka Shine sign. And again, down here we've got our junk extractor, and I really would love to put a garden in here again someday, because it just, again, everything is under one roof and it's all contained, and it just really again, kind of has a nice flow. People can walk around here freely, not have to worry about doors. I don't like doors. Doors are unwelcoming. And again, just one more quick look here for you guys. Tell you what, let's go up on the roof and I'll show you guys the quick view from up there. And you know what, guys, I almost forgot. At one point, I actually had this open. This wall was open out here, and it went outside to this really cool little deck area. And I would love to incorporate that again. Again, budget, but would love to have that deck area up there on the roof, above the extractor and all that stuff. Unfortunately, just with the budget constraints, it's just not going to work. And of course, over here, a nice little area for y'all to come hang out. You know, just an extra person can come. Let's go ahead and go up on the roof. So yeah, right here, guys, this is that living room looking in. Yep. And so I had this little deck area that kind of came down. You'd have to kind of jump. Right here was where the door was, then you'd have to jump down onto this deck area. And if we do, again, get that budget, I may just go ahead and build these little half walls up and extend it out, and then we can have a nice clean flat floor that goes out to about where this tree is. I managed to make sure the tree was clipping, and it would really be awesome if that tree wasn't clipping in, because it kind of does look pretty bad. Let's go ahead and head on up. Whoa, one more jump there. Nope, looks like we're not going to make it up that way. Let's go up this way. Here we go. Come on up. And now we're on top of the roof here. Nice little view. I will say, anytime they are dropping a nuke, I just do not get the best view from here. Really, this tree over here kind of blocks it. I usually have to run out here I've gotten a couple decent pictures from here, but honestly, there's really not much of a view here. I might eventually go build in a new area, and I've seen some really cool cliffside ones with junk. Excuse me, not a junk extractor, but some other extractors. I personally love having an extractor in my camp. It just gives it that extra little edge. At one point, I did have a Brahim. Fertilizer thing. I had that for a little while, but again, that actually took a ton of budget, and I think it's because of the animation. Out here, I did actually at one point, I had another foundation here, and I had a lion statue, and it really, really looked badass. It was a really nice, bigger, I guess you could say more epic entrance. At one point again, on one of the earlier versions, we did not have it this big. Some of the earlier versions didn't even have the extractor inside of its own little part of the structure. And I didn't have some of these walls jutted out. And the reason why, again, I'll just go over that one more time. It's kind of an optical illusion when you stagger your base out, kind of outwards. It does give it this larger feel. Most of the base is actually located within these 2x2 area, and it's extremely long, so it goes back. But as I staggered everything out, I was able to maximize some more room there. And again, it gives it a little bit better flow. You can fit a lot more in there. Anyway, well, I'll go ahead and wrap this up with one more quick walkthrough for you, if you haven't already seen it. Again, very, very epic, very big. I do call this a mega camp because, again, I think it's mega. It's huge. You can't beat it. Had a lot of compliments on it. It is a pretty badass camp. And I will say, I hope y'all can come visit me sometime if you're ever on PlayStation 4. I do hop on every other day, sometimes every day. Recently, I've been on every day with the Player of Ending and, of course, the new Arcos Project Paradise mission. So swing on by, come check out the shop, come check out the camp, make yourselves at home. And thanks for checking it out, y'all. Hope to catch you on the wasteland, guys. Take it easy. Bye.